Diesel, and today I'm going to talk about my 85 Chevy Suburban and what I've done to it. I picked this up a few years ago, and of course it had a 6.2 diesel in it, which was really a dog, and I put a 5.9 Cummins in it, which really works good. I had to build a bumper on this thing. Put this bumper, I painted the grill out black, and I put a 4-inch lift that I got off of Craigslist on this thing, which lifted it up enough, tore all the running boards and the trim off, and I started painting on it where the paint was peeled off. I got some steps here off of Craigslist, of course, and just kept painting and fixing up and taking the chrome off this thing to make it clear. I got the rims off of Craigslist, fairly cheap, that worked pretty good. And I just finished this barn door conversion. This used to be a tailgate, and I changed this out, and I have a video for that. The bumper was all rusted and trim coming off. I had it sandblasted and powder coated, and put that on. I got some backup lights, and it's at the right height now. This is what it should have been. And the same thing, just worked the sides, and I never did paint it all at one time, just did it in pieces, which is a fairly cheap and easy way to do it. Did it in my shop. I'm going to show you the inside, what I did here and how I did it cheaply. The seats right here, I got them off of Craigslist for free, and they're second seats, some kind of van. I built a little wooden console to hold the drinks and put your tools in there and whatever. The diamond plate, I did a diamond plate dash and instrument panel. I got this free from a guy that was remodeling a Gold's Gym. They had this on the walls, and I got it everywhere, as far as the doors, panels, and the trim parts that fell apart. I used diamond plate. Worked good. The engine here and the transmission was automatic, and I put a stick in it. I put a SM 465 with a NP 205 in it on the transfer case. Works great. It was just geared a little low, and I had to change the gears in the rear end to from a 373 to a 308, and it really works good. It has all kinds of torque and power compared to what it had. The exhaust system, I used 3 pipes off of a Cummins, and I welded them all together with V-clamps, and it really works pretty good. Had a lot of room. Let me show you the engine here. I'll open up the hood. This is a 91 12 valve, and it's non-intercooled, and it actually fits in there just right. I never did move it. I just bolted it to the transmission, and I put the fans in between the grill and the radiator. They fit perfect. I don't have no air conditioning because I don't really need it out here where I live, and I used 2nd gen motor mounts for it, and I just boxed the frame on either side here when I built it, and I put a motor mount bracket on the back side. This one here is welded solid, and the front one comes off. I could unbolt it. I have bolts going through the frame right here. This thing, that way you never have to pry up on the transmission to get this out. It just goes straight forward and straight up. I've put this in by myself and taken it out by myself with just with just a little crane thing that I got. I put all the wiring stuff up here on the fender, which looks like a mess, but it's not bad. At least I can get at it rather than going underneath the dash. I just put a plate up here and bolt all my relays for my fans and anything else, horns and fan controls, backup lights, everything's right here where I could get at it now. Before it was underneath the dash, it's just a mess under there. And I've kind of rewired it, tore a lot of the wires, and I still have some wires here I haven't figured out. This is a Jeep master cylinder. It's a hydraulic clutch in there, and I use the Jeep master cylinder here and the slave cylinder on the adapter plate from the 12 valve to the SM465. And I use a quick draw adapter, and that's a really nice adapter that he has, and they work really good. The instruments up here, and I'll show you what I did here, because most of these dashes are shot when you get them. I took some diamond plate and I cut a pattern out of paper, of course, and I bent this and sprayed it with flat black so it wouldn't get any glare, and then I used just some Velcro. That's all that's holding this stuff on, but it holds it on really tight. I made two pieces, one here and one over here, and it kind of covered it up, gives it the diamond plate look, which I like, and it, like I said, it didn't cost me anything. I got all my gauges here, and this is a GPS speedometer. Did away with that, and I got some backup lights and extra switches and a horn button right there. This here's the shifter knob for this. My son made it for me. It works really good. I got a GPS. I just have that up here because I like to see it. The dash here is the same thing. It's one piece of diamond plate with a fold on it. And it only has 4 screws that you just take out. This whole thing will come out and you can work on your wiring or whatever you're working on here. And I actually moved this down. This was up here with a vent, and the heater control I moved down to here. And I'm not finished down here yet. I've got to do some stuff, venting and stuff like that. And I'll probably cover it up with diamond plate. And I used a piece to cover the center hole here, and I haven't put my boots on here yet. I have these cheapo ones just laying on there. It doesn't seem to bother anything anyhow, but it'd probably make it quieter. The console, just a wood box, easy to make. Got all your stuff in there. You can put bottles of water here, coffee here. You can write on it. Works great. It didn't cost me hardly anything for this. And the seats, they're really nice for free off of Craigslist. And they're really comfortable, so that's cheap and it works. The headliner on these things are terrible. All of them are falling down, and if you had any. What I used here, I used 3/4 inch foam from Lowe's, and you cut it a little bit bigger so it sticks down in here on either side. And this is FRP, fiberglass board, and it's fairly cheap too. You can get it from Lowe's. And I cut it. I made this out of a cardboard first to have a template. Then I cut this. You put it in here and you got to prop it up. And then these are self-tapping screws, and there's ribs across here, and you just got to hit them right on the money. What I did, I made a line on this strip here, drilled it, and then when I put it up, I made sure that I hit all of them. Did the whole thing all the way back like that. I think it took 2 or 3 sheets because it's longer than 48 this way, so you got to go the long ways. But it's still, at the price, it makes a nice headliner. And it's got this ripple on it, so I don't think it echoes like it would if it was completely smooth. And that's all I've done so far inside. I need some upholstery work on the back seats, but other than that, and I have my 3rd row seat too, but I just never use it because I always hauling something or putting something back there. Let's see. And I can start it up for you. You can listen to it. Yeah, I just love the sound of that. That motor is just like it was made for this vehicle. And any other square body, I would say that's what I would put in it, and that's what I did in here. It's got some little other things I have to do on it, but most of it's minor, and I just tinker on it when I have to. I got to still paint the back end of this where I did the barn door conversion, and I like it, and it's just it's kind of fun working on these things. It's a really strong body and frame, and a lot of people say, well, the half-ton wouldn't hold a Cummins. Believe me, this thing works really good because 99% of my driving's on the road, and there's nothing wrong if you use a 4-inch lift on this thing. There are stronger springs which holds that Cummins, and I have no problem with it. Thank you.